Hello coders, good afternoon, it's Sunday. How did we get to Sunday so fast? It's almost like, I don't know, I blink and then suddenly it's another weekend, which is over. Which is, oh well, never mind. I hope everybody's doing well, I hope everybody is feeling good. Doing good. So today what we want to do is do a sprint review of the CMS sprint that we were doing for the past 2 weeks, and then I would like to do so that's going to include an end-to-end test, right? An end-to-end test of the CMS. I've pushed it up onto staging. There was a whole lot of issues with that. I'll talk about those as I go through it. But also what I would like to do is do a sprint plan for the next few sprints, basically triage the backlog down. I say triage, assign them obviously to myself, of course, but put them in sort of some form of logical sprint block type thing, decide what we're going to be working on next, and go forward. So I'm just going to go straight into the code here. I've done an awful lot of work on another machine which has this installed, and I've added things like, for instance, a code sniffer and other bits and pieces like that. So I'm just running I'm running that make install command. Here we go, make install command, which is going to install all the various bits and pieces and then run through all those things, which it looks like it has done. All the database changes as well. So I just want to get it up and running locally first to then just to make sure everything works on this machine, and then I'll get into Jira, which is this bundle of fun. And we have our staging, how to code well, site, the front end, and then we've got the back end up there. So I'll go through those too. Let me just get the stuff installed on my machine first, right? That's probably the best way to go about it, because I also want to be doing some code today. So let me have a little look. So that's all ran through. We've installed the vendor, we've rebuilt the database. I guess the next thing is to do the code checks, right? So this is make tests. So it's going to do code style, mess detector, static analysis, rebuild the database, clear the cache, and then run test, which does this. So codeception run, and that's going to be both the API and the unit tests. Okay, so let's see if we can get that running. I guess that's a good start, right? So let's do make tests. Okay. Hello, Junid. Thank you for joining today. Good afternoon, Waddle, and hello. That's a brilliant username. The Norman Ahmed. Thank you very much, everybody, for joining today. Waddle's currently doing the housework. Dishes with phone on stand lol. Thought I'd tune in. Oh, lovely. Thank you. Yeah, the good old housework. Hey, Mr. DB. Thank you for joining. Okay, so this should have done, if I scroll up a wee bit here to the command, wherever that's gone. Come on. No. Come on. Right to the top here. Okay, so this has done, that's the mess detection. I want to get right to the top. Yeah, make tests. So it's running this one. This is a new command that I've added in. This is running the bin PHP CBF. This is a PHP Beautifier, and it will fix any particular errors with the code in terms of the way it looks, in terms of a check style. That's what the code style command does. After that, we then do a mess detection, and no mess has been detected, which is great. Then after that, we do static analysis. Now, for those who watched me stream, was it Thursday evening, whilst I was merrily drinking gin whilst fixing PHP Stan errors, and we managed to get this all the way up to level 8, the highest level you can get with PHP Stan. So that's now running off of level 8. So everything, the CMS and the API is now PHP Stan level 8 compliant, which took about 3.5 hours and about 2 or 3 glasses of gin. But we got there. So then after this, it then drops the database again, runs the migration scripts, then it loads the fixtures in. This is all fine. Deals with the cache, that's good. Then it's doing, there's no acceptance tests, however there are 27 API tests, so this is actually making API requests and then checking the responses. Each time it does this, it's dropping the database, rebuilding it from a dump that I've got, because this is manipulating the database, so you want to have a nice clean slate to work on. Tyrannid's saying, well, I guess to get to level 8 you need to be creative. Yeah. And on this sprint, I'll just mention this. So if I went to, can I search for old tasks? No. I've recently updated Jira to use the new layout and to use sprints, and it's I've totally screwed up like how this kind of is set up, which is annoying. So you can't see old things, so you have to like search for done issues, and then you have to then search for whatever you want. So it's not really in the, maybe this is the right way, I don't know, but it just seems a bit counterintuitive for me. Here we go, that's what I'm looking for. Increase PHP Stan API to level 3. That's what we were hoping to do, but then as the gin started flowing, I decided to knock it all the way up to the top. So, and continue on. So Tyrion is asking, how did I fix the NPN problem? So this is a problem that I had with NPM. It's been causing me a lot of issues over the last, for the last two odd weeks, I suppose. This is an issue where NPM runs out of memory. It actually says that it's running out of disk space, so I've got a feeling it's using the disk as memory, or something along that. Essentially, it's the inodes, and I've got a feeling so I haven't fixed it. Okay, I haven't fixed it. I've got around it. I've got a workaround for it, but I haven't fixed it. I've got a feeling it's because that when I use the base image of Node, so let's have a little look at that. Let's go to. I'm not a massive fan of that tune, to be honest. So if I went to here and had a look at the Dockerfile, I've got a feeling it's this. So using Node 11, if you use the base image of Node and not use the slim version of Node, so just use Node on whatever tag, it's huge. This base image is ginormous, and it's about a gig, which I only just realized. Just realized last night. Let me just see if I can get. Why haven't I got this terminal working? That's not good. I'll just show you. Let's just do an eval of the system and then do Docker images. Node 11, which is here, 904 megs. That's the base image. So the portal itself is 1.79 gigabytes. Okay, let me just say that again. The static site, the static front end is 1.79 gigabytes big. Yeah, let me just let that sink in. So I think that's the issue. I think that's ginormous. In fact, I think a lot of these are too big. The CMS itself is 680 meg. That's too big, in my opinion. So I've got a feeling what happens when I run the Docker up, what it's trying to do is it's just running full out of memory and space. And it falls over, and it falls over at various different points, which is annoying. It's not something that I can just get to a single point and then it automatically fails. It fails at very different stages. I was trying it. I did 4 times last night, and it was just going at different points. So I think it was just running out of space. And anyway, the way I got around it, which is a bit of a hack, is the fact that what I did is I built everything locally on my laptop, and then I pushed all of that up in the static sense all the way up, and I just built a HTTP server, and I just pushed it into the public directory. I think it's like var wub HTML public, and I just bunged it in there, and it worked, right? So yeah, I need to rethink how I'm going to do the deployment and the build, because essentially what I wanted to do was I wanted to have the CMS in production mode, and I wanted the Gatsby site to be in production mode, but in a way that I can run the Gatsby build again and then pull down the new bits. But I can't do that. So essentially I cannot install Gatsby on my server because there's too many other things on it. And I've got a feeling this is the criminal. This is the offending thing. So I need to look into that. Now I did see that you can get Node, a slim version of Node, like an Alpine version of Node. But I haven't played with it yet, so I don't really know what is missing. I was going through some GitHub tickets yesterday, some old ones, and they were suggesting that the reason why the base image of Node is so big is because there's so many libraries in there that they've just put in just in case you need them. Which is kind of, in my opinion, the wrong way to think about it. But anyway, and I was trying all sorts, like, trying to only install production bits, so I'm not getting any of the dev requirements, and meh. Okay, so how's this all going? So this is if I go over to API here. Okay, cool. So this is now. So we now have 177 tests, 340 acceptations. So that all the unit tests have passed, and all of the API tests have passed. It's wonderful. And then all the other tests as well for the backend. So that's good. I'm happy with that. So we're now at a sort of a stable area, I guess, locally, which is great. So let's go and take a look at staging areas at the moment. So I've got to remember what my usernames and things are. And of course, this is live, but you password protected and everything. If I remember. Yeah. Okay, so this is the front end. Okay, we've all seen this before. And let me just do a little click on these things. Looks fine to me. Yep, looks good. And then the resources, bunch of resources. Yeah, all good stuff. Okay. Now, I should say that this isn't actually the most up-to-date version, because basically what I was saying before with the Node stuff being a right pain in the bum, I got into a bit of a frustrated tiz yesterday, and I just thought, sod it, I'm just going to push up an old version to a HTTP server and have done, which is where it is. So this is about 3-4 weeks behind. Yeah, so, but we're not really testing the front end today. We're testing the CMS. That's what I'm going to do. So this is the new toy. This is the new stuff that we added today. So let's log in. Okay, so that's a big issue. That's the first issue. And as I come across these issues, I'm going to log them. I already know about this one. This is because the path is wrong. So I'm going to log this in here. If I can clear the filters, how do I do that? Come out of this. Done issues. No, I don't want done issues. How do I get back to... How do I just get back to view all filters? Ah! I'm lost in Jira, which is not a great place to be lost in. Let's just spin it back to the project, which is that one. Right, gosh. And go to the roadmap. There we go. And sorry, not the roadmap, the backlog. Right, so this issue is that the homepage of the CMS really needs to be redirected to CMS/login. That's essentially it. So I'm gonna create a thing here, fix CMS homepage redirection, because this should go to, and I'll show you in a minute what the difference is. CMS login. It's just the way I've set the routes up. Okay, we'll add that as a task. I'm going to go through these and then sort of divvy them up. I've already got some DevOpsy tasks for myself. But essentially what I need to do is this needs to go to /CMS login, because essentially what's happening is that this is getting confused as to, is this the CMS or is this the API? This is the CMS. Now I can't remember what the login was, so bear with me a second. Apparently that's it's thinking about it. Come on. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, we will save that too. Okay, so this is the CMS in all its glory. Now there's a few things that I can automatically see, both from this and this as well. The first thing is that we're not running HTTPS, so I mean I'm aware of this, but it's not recorded anywhere, so I need to do that. So again, let's create a task. So this is going to be add HTTPS to the gateway, and it's both CMS. So cms.howtocodewell.net, staging, I should say, staging hyphen CMS, as well as staging hyphen it's just staging, isn't it? Staging.howtocodewell.net. These need to go behind, and actually, yes, that's fine. Both need to go behind HTTPS. Now, the gateway is an interesting one because essentially, I've changed the way the gateway works. I've changed the way the API works. It's actually now an internal API rather than an external API. It doesn't actually have an address. However, I'm still going to need to test it. I think, have access to it myself. So I will put in API-staging as well, but with the intention that this should be locked down to just myself, so how to code well. And what I'll do is also add that to the task as well. We're going to label this with DevOps. I've got a new DevOps label here, and MVP as well, so minimum viable product. and we will create another one. And the other one is going to be to lock down API to Office IP. So this is update the gateway to only allow API traffic from the Office API. Now this could be problematic in the future. I might have to VPN to the Office if I'm away from the Office and I need to do anything, but is that MVP? Yeah, cool. Okay, so those two sorted. So we built this whole API, the whole CMS in 2 weeks, which I'm pretty impressed with, to be honest. It's very lightweight, in the sense of it's literally just lists and forms. There's another issue here. I can see I've spotted this one here, invalid entities. There's 2. Let's go and have a little noodle on that. So I'm going to be a little bit thorough as I go through all of this. So what's this? Database queries of 1, invalid entities of 2. Here we go. Good, and we got some code here too. So let's go and add those. And then what I'll do, once we go through the whole end-to-end, I'm then going to go through Jira and then split up these things into sprints. So invalid entities. I wonder if there's a way I could actually write a test to validate the entities. And then you put that in my make tests command. That's an interesting thought. Okay, so let's put in clicking all the things. That. Some of these might be quick wins, right? And I could just like bash through them today. Is that going to give me a code block? No. Marvelous. Do we have a code block on here? Code. Okay, that's a weird way of putting code in. Can I change that to PHP? Strange. I'm not used to this, the new look of Jira, I must say. Is this DevOps? Not really. It's more to do with API, isn't it? And database. DB. But it certainly is MVP. Okay, so maybe I just need to do code : maybe that's what the convention is. Invalid entities : user. There we go. So we'll create this one, and we'll create another one, which was not that one, this one. Subscription plan. Must stop pressing invalid entities, and then this is subscription plan instead of user. Do I have to click this button every time I want to put in code? Gosh. You can tell I don't like change, right? Right, what was it? It was this one here. The association mapping is wrong. And that looks good to me. Okay, create. Cool. I'm interested as to the output of those. I think they must be at the bottom here. Let's just click on that one. Can I see what that looks like? Okay, so it's just basically put it in. There's a long string there. Okay, whatever. Never mind. I'm not bothered by the format of Jira, to be honest. Right. That's all good. Happy with that. Let's go back. Okay, so first things first, this is supposed to be a dashboard, and it's just the welcome of this. I don't really know what to put on the dashboard yet, but there certainly needs to be something, I guess. But really, for the MVP, meh, nobody's going to see this apart from myself, so I'm not overly worried. I could put a task in to say add a dashboard, but I don't know what's in the dashboard, so I'm not going to put a task in yet. Okay, courses, we'll hit courses. Another thing to note, actually, whilst this is loading, is that we're running the dev mode. Now, I don't think I should be doing this in staging. So I'm going to tackle that by putting in another bug. Where are we? Bug. Create a task. So remove the web debug toolbar from staging CMS. We'll just put that in for now, and let me think. That's definitely going to need to be MVP. It's something to do with UI and CMS. There we go. Cool. Okay. So let's now take a look at one of these and then have a little play. So let's view HTML for beginners. Okay, that's the way it looks. I can't see anything fundamentally flawed there, to be honest. That's just the way it looks. Let's go back. Let's see one with tutorials. Let's take a look at Docker for beginners. Okay, that's fine. I guess what I could do here is order these by the IDs. So these are the tutorials within this course, and I guess I could also put in the image as well, which I thought I had, to be honest. I'll have to test that. So yeah, I'm going to put in an order for this, so order by, but I'm not going to put it as an MVP because I don't think I need to do it. You know, it's not we'll put in a screenshot. If I can find the right keyboard shortcuts. Can I? Hang on. You're supposed to be... There we go. Right. So... Okay. So we'll add another task in here. So CMS. Add... so view course. Actually, order tutorials by display order in view course. This is going to be CMS. It's not going to be MVP, and I guess it's UI as well. Okay, so then can I add a screenshot? Must be able to, oh yeah, drop files onto there. Okay, good. Let's see, can I grab one of those? Where would that go? Desktop, probably. Today at 1500 hours, yep. That's the Badger. I'm going to just put in these. Should be in display. It should be in the in display order. Display order. Good. Okay. So that's that. Everything else looks fine. Okay, let's hit course. I guess a nice little feature might be to have a breadcrumbs, right? So I can see where I am in the grand scheme of stuff. It's a feature, I don't need it. I'm more interested in things that fundamentally break at this stage. I don't want to get too carried away with adding features, especially not for the CMS. So that's viewing. Let's see if we can edit one of these. Let's say edit of this one. You have to bear with the speed. It's not in production mode, unfortunately. Ooh, the speed of this server is lightning. Okay, that looks fine, I guess. Although, I mean, it would be nice to have duration to be hours, minutes, and seconds. Am I worried about that? I guess. I mean, I could put that in as a thing, right? I mean, it's going to just convert back to a timestamp. Let's put that in. Again, I'm going to take a screenshot of this. So edit. It's edit stroke add, isn't it? Course duration. That's Murphy barking. Duration course should be hours, minutes, and seconds. Bear with me a minute whilst I sort out Murphy. Just give me a couple of seconds. I don't know what he was barking at. He was just barking at the window. And nobody's out there because everybody's social distancing. What was I doing? Edit course duration to show okay, and then I will drag that into there. And this should convert back to a timestamp. So I'm probably going to need like a hidden field or something. Or something like that, I don't know. Convert back to a timestamp before saving. It's essentially just a UI thing, really. It's to do with the CMS, of course. It's not MVP, definitely not MVP. I'm more than happy just to use timestamps for now. CMS UI. Not going to bother putting in a sprint yet. Okay, so that's good. All right. Okay, so scroll. This is the content now. I'm not sure. I'm under two minds at the moment as to whether the content should have HTML characters in there to allow for things like bold and all of this lot. Maybe using like tiny MCE as a means of creating some content. At the moment, there's no way of like putting a breakpoints or lists or anything like that in, which I think is a bit rubbish. So I think what I'm going to do is create another task for that. So add, so this is, add, what would it be? It would be like a text editor. Add, is it Wysiwyg, isn't it? Add Wysiwyg. I don't know how to spell Wysiwyg. Is it Wysi with a Y? Let me Google that. Let me Google that. Wysiwyg. Wysiwyg. YSY. There we go. Add Wysiwyg editor to the content, to the course content. This is course CMS course add and edit. Again, this is in the CMS. Whoops. This is UI, and I got a feeling it's gonna have to be MVP. I think, really, to be honest, I think this needs to. I do need to do that. I think something like this really would do, where you can put bold, italic, and then have these two. It's the lists I kind of want. You know, in this course you will learn ... those kind of things. I think I'm gonna need. Yeah. Okay. So let's create that. Okay, so slug. Now, slug needs some validation, I think, because the slug needs to be unique, and there's no unique validation on this. So I think I'm going to need to put in some. Yay. So make sure. So validate unique slugs. Course slug. I'll have to do a task for courses, and I'm gonna have to do another task for tutorials, and another one for resources. But hang on. At the moment, the slugs are not unique, are not checked for uniqueness, and are not checked for uniqueness. An argument could be said for it to be automatically generated based on the title. So, for instance, here the title is is HTML for beginners, and that is the slug. Right, there is a pattern that matches. So I guess I could get this to be automatically generated, but I've got a feeling that's probably going to be. Let's do that for. Let's do that for phase 2 or something. Yeah, I'll put in a note. Don't waste time automatically generating slugs at this stage, or during the MVP. A little note to myself. CMS, I guess it is also it's gonna be database as well. So CMS, oops, that's not right. It's CMS. There we go. It's gonna be. Do I have one for database? DB, yes, because it's gonna have to do a database query, and it's gonna be a UI change as well. Not putting it in the sprint. It's gonna be MVP. Just imagine, like, getting 2 slugs the same or something like that, or a slug wrong, and then pushing this up. It'll just be horrible. I don't want to unpick that mess. Okay, so next one. Scroll. That's fine. Publish date, views. Meh. Don't really need them, to be honest. But whatever. Supplier and author. The supplier there is wrong. Why is that set to pack publishing? That should be how to go well. That's not right. So let's do an update and see. Please select a file. Okay, can I drag that into there? Yes, and now can I do an update? Come on. Come on, come on, come on, come on. I haven't done any kind of benchmarking on this server yet. This is a micro, a T2 micro on AWS, and it's got the front end, the API, and the CMS and the gateway. I was just dealing with HTML, wasn't I? HTML for beginners. Where did that go? Right at the bottom. Why did the order change? Updated today. 17th of the 5th. The date's wrong, completely wrong. That's off by an hour, so the timestamp of the server's wrong. I'm going to have to put that in as a task. So it's not adhering to the right timestamp. So server time is incorrect. It looks like it is off by an hour. So this is a DevOps task. It is MVP, it is DevOps. I do need to fix that before it goes live. What else could it be? No, I guess that's kind of it, really. DevOps and MVP. I will put this into the sprint. There is a sprint already called DevOps. I basically want to just tackle a whole bunch of DevOpsy stuff in a sprint. That one here. Server time is incorrect. I guess what I should also do is have a little sort of way of testing. So let's click on that. Oh, it's loaded it up in here. Oh, this is a weird way of... Right. To test, create a... to test, edit a course, and then and check the updated date against the current times, against the current date and time. Okay, cool. Right, so this is the one I did. I'm wondering why is it because it's done by publish date? 2300 hours. I think it is. Okay. So, right, let's view this. I've just added an image to this as well. So let's see if I can pull that back. No. No, that's weird. It was HTML for beginners, wasn't it? Or was it Docker for beginners? I've totally forgotten which one I was dealing with. I don't know. Let's edit that one. This one had a change of supplier, didn't it? Yeah, it was HTML for beginners. It's how to code. Well, the image, though, isn't correct. I thought we just updated that image. So, yeah, that's not good. Let me grab that a minute. What am I looking for? I'm looking for desktop here. Doesn't seem, the images don't seem to be uploading. HTML for beginners, that is the one that we've just done. And if I hit update, oh, that sucks. Right, so that's definitely a bug. Bug. So images are not uploading. HTML for beginners. Let's have a look. Click on view. We should have an image there, and we should also have an image come on here. But the fact that it's saying no image is chosen means, to me, feels like it's not in the database. If we hit view, we should see a blank image tag, I think, if there is an image. If there is an image and it can't be shown, at least. Let me have a little noodle and see TRs. It should be above here. There we go. So yeah, we got an image here. Images. Yeah, that's not right. Right, so the images don't seem to be uploading correctly. Let me just open that up in a new tab. Yeah. So there's a problem with images.howtocodewell.net, I think. Let me put that down here. So attempted to upload an image. No errors shown on page. However, no errors shown on page, and form was submitted with saved values. Okay, so attempted to upload an image to a course. No errors were shown on the page, and the form was submitted with saved values. Viewing the course shows the image src with that. Nope, I'm gonna have to put in the whole thing with this. However, image is not displaying. This is a possible issue with the and the gateway. Perhaps I'm not allowing these requests through. So let's create that. Cool. Oh, I need to sort that out, don't I? I need to label it all. So labels here is MVP. It has to be done. It's UI. It's also CMS as well. The weird thing is, like, all of these are coming as I go to the here. All of these are coming back okay. So these images are fine. And yet the images up on the CMS aren't. So there's some sort of disconnect going on there for some reason. But whatever. Okay. It would also be nice to have a button there to say add tutorials to this, but I'm not really fussed. Also, I've noticed that I'm missing here a section for supplier, so we'll do that. It's not really a bug, it's more of a feature, to be honest. Add supplier to the course view page. Okay, cool. Is that all the courses done? Can I guess we could show the deactivation and activation of a course, right? So this one here is the PHP OOP for beginners jobby, the design pattern job. So let's edit that one. And we will deactivate it. This should really go. This should go from yes to no with red. So we'll just check that. I am hoping that once I get this into production mode, I optimize the autoloaders and do all the other fancy jazz. It's going to be much faster than it is. All right, what I'm going to do again. Why is this set to? There's something odd with the suppliers. They should be. And really, I'm going to put that as a bug. How to code well should be at the top. I know why it's done this, but it should be at the top. So order suppliers. Order supplier drop down by put HTCW at the top of the supplier list. So when editing or creating a course, put how to code well at the top of the supplier list. There we go. Oops, I've missed that. I need to change this and set the labels of this stuff. So that needs to be MVP, this needs to be UI, and of course it's CMS. Does it need to be MVP? I think it should, because if not, it's just going to add to confusion, I think. Anyway, what I was doing, I was going to deactivate this course, wasn't I? There we go. So this should now set this to no as for the active flag. Yes, and it has done. So let's edit that. Come on. God, this is slow. Right, and then this is supposed to be deactivated. However, it still says it's deactivated there, which is a bit of a bug. Plus the supplier, did I actually change that? I don't think I did. Yeah, so that's a problem. That's a bug, right? So if I go back to here, it's not active at all. But if I go to edit, I still have the option to deactivate it. Which doesn't make any sense. I think there's even an active button there. Would this be best in a toggle? Like, maybe that should be a toggle. Maybe that should just be a checkbox and not bother with this. I think that's wise, because they essentially do the same thing. However, saying that though, if I... No, let's take a step back here and think about the logic. So when you deactivate something, this comes up, which is great. This is a warning, which is what I want. You won't get this if you deal with the toggle, unless I put some fancy Vue.js on this and made a nice little modal there. Not bothered by that. So I think the bug here, well, there's two. One is that the active this should not exist in this form, and this button should only appear if it's active. So there's two issues here. So the first one is to remove the active checkbox from the course add edit forms. It's not really a bug. Is it a bug? Not really a bug. No. UI. It's MVP though. And we'll create that. Notice I'm not really putting in descriptions too much. I'm just bunging in the. I know what this means. If it was for a client, then I'd probably have more details. And then this one is a bug though. Come on, let's click that. Right, only show the deactivate button if the course is active. So this is in CMS, this is in the edit. Okay, so the steps to reproduce would be something like click on edit active course, click on deactivate button, and then click OK. Then that should redirect to list. Then edit the same course, and then notice the deactivate button is still there, still displayed. Deactivate. Can't spell deactivate. Deactivate. Okay, fine. Good. This is CMS. It is UI. It is MVP. Right. Okay. Create. Good. All right. So the images aren't being saved. We've got that. The supplier, we've got the order of the things, which is well. If I was to change that to how to code well, that's edit course. That's fine. The PHP OOP design patterns. Let's hit update. Oh gosh. So I still need to put an image in there. The validation is valid, right? But I just want to make sure that the supplier is changing correctly because I'm a bit suspicious. Should be. Can't think of why it wouldn't be, but I'm just a bit suspicious as to why it was set to packed rather than how to code well. Ooh, there's a bug here. The subtitle cannot be longer than 30 characters. Fine. And I suppose you're going to need that again. Okay, so it did change, although that was a sticky form, wasn't it? Let's do that. This is now saying this. That did 8 queries and 2 invalid. That's fine. We know all that. Okay, it's shot off the top again for some reason. It's down here, but it's not active, which is good. And if we hit edit, do we have a how to code well? We do. Okay, so that's done. All right, good stuff. All right. I guess we should move on to the tutorials. I'm going to grab a cup of tea though before we do that. We'll move on to the tutorial section, and we'll check all those out. Once I'm happy with the way the forms look and all the things are in the right place, then what I'm going to do is create a course and then add tutorials to that course, and that will be me essentially doing the end-to-end, I suppose. So yeah, bear with me a minute whilst I go and grab a cup of tea. I'm also going to give Murphy a couple of treats. So give me a couple of seconds and I will be back. Bye. I'll leave the music on. Okay, so find the right button. There we go. Bless him, Murphy is just chilling out. He's just looking out the window. Just on neighborhood watch. So, okay, so that's good. There was something as I was brewing my cup of tea. There was a bug I thought about. Oh yes, when we go to the list of courses, and this is naughty me. I shouldn't have done this. I should not have done this. This is now making me work. But I thought it would be clever if I put in a link to the course. And you would click on this, and you would go straight to the course. The problem, and it's a great idea, it's a good idea to do, right? Because you want to see what the course looks like. Though there's a problem with this, though. One, this shouldn't be shown if the course is inactive, because if it's inactive, it's inactive. You can't see it, so there needs to be some logic there to only show this if it's active. Yeah, and also there was another reason. Oh yes, the other reason is that I need to work out whether or not I'm on staging, production, or in development. So having this link here, which is, at the time I thought this was a very good idea to do I need it? I do think I do need it, but it's now thrown up a bit of work, which is so frustrating. So I'll have to put this in. I can't just not do it. All right. So what are we going to call this? Course link, I suppose. It is a bug, yes. Course link. Course link doesn't work with inactive. Course link shouldn't show. Yeah, here we are. Course link shouldn't be shown with inactive courses. Okay, so then hide link if the course is inactive. Now I'm probably going to forget what all of this is, right, when I get to this. So what I'm going to do is take a screenshot of this and drag it over to, come on, copy it in, there we go. Then I'll know what it is. So up here I'll put in C screenshot of course link. Just because I'll go like, what's course link? What's that again? I guess I could do CMS. What does the view button do? The view button views it, but in the CMS. I'll show you in a minute. CMS course list. So the view button views it, but in the sense of this. So you'll see the list of tutorials, and then you'll see the stuff about the course. So if I was to view one where we had, which was active, like this one for instance, PHP Docker for beginners, sorry, you get all these tutorials here which you can view and edit. We haven't got to that bit yet, we'll do so in a minute. Yeah, so it is CMS, it is unfortunately MVP, it is a UI issue. I don't think it's going to be that difficult to do. Okay, then there was another one about this, wasn't there? There was the fact that I need to know the environment that I'm in. Yeah, so again, it's a bug. So course link needs to be aware of the current environment. So at the moment, course link is just like staging, is just production, but this needs to be adjusted for development and staging. And what I'll do is I'll copy that can't spell staging. Copy that in here too. Label CMS UI MVP. Okay, cool. Create. So there's a bit of play that we need to do here. Another one that I've just spotted is that we don't have the correct favicon for the, but that's not MVP. But I'll put it in anyway. It needs to be added. It's going to be a task. So add favicon to the CMS. It's not MVP. It's CMS. It is UI. It's one of those things that I'll do on a rainy day. One of those rainy day tasks. Cool. Right. Okay, let's move on to the tutorials. Much the same in terms of listing. We do have a stupid course link again. Oh dear. Right. Let me replicate those issues for the tutorial. Tutorial link should only be shown for active tutorials. And we will. I'll take a screenshot of that. There we go, and I will grab that from here when you decide to put it in. Thank you. Drag that over there. Did that go in? Yeah. Labels, CMS, UI, MVP. I hope I haven't done many of these stupid things. Right, we'll add another. That is a bug. We'll add another issue. Did that? Yeah. Okay. Great. The next one is tutorial link needs to be aware of the environment. At the moment, the tutorial link is set to production, but this needs to be adjusted for development and staging. Right, good. Can we now please get off of this? Right. Okay, so they're all set to active, which is great. Let's go and have a look. Show should really be set to view. Oh, gosh. Consistency, Mr. Fisher. Come on. Change the tutorial. Now I'm shouting. Change the tutorial show button to say view. Again, grab that and then put that into. Come on. Drag that into there. This is CMS. Oh, CMS UI MVP. Yeah, all the things. Good. It's not a difficult task. Right, so let's go and see what one of them looks like in terms of the CMS. That's what it looks like. That's fine. Yeah, I mean, obviously the navigation and the alignment isn't fantastic, but it'll do. If we hit add, what happens? Yeah, it just goes back to the thing, right? And then I can put in the premium URL. That's a bit messy. I think it's because that is uppercase URL, and it's gone and automatically put it in spaces because the Symfony Maker bundle just thinks that these are different words. I'm not going to put in a bug for that. But yeah, that looks fine to me. Okay, let's go back. I guess hitting edit goes to that same page as well. Content, I think we also need to have an editor for that as well. So I'll add an issue to there. It's not really a bug, it's more of a task. I just didn't really think of it whilst I was doing it. Okay. I want to try and keep consistency with these tasks. So what did I type before? I just want to get the can we search for editor? No, editor. Yes, here we go. Add Wysiwyg. So can I duplicate this somehow? That would be very useful if I could. Copy issue link. No. DevOps. No. Nope. Okay, I think it's just a case of just copying the title, right? So that. Right, let's create another one. So this is tutorial. Add editor to the tutorial. Content. It's a task. It is CMS. It is MVP. It is UI. Okay. Good stuff. Other than that, that's fine to me. Okay, that's good. I mean, the meta really could be a text area, but it's not gonna crash in a ball of fire, so I'm not worried about that too much. Let's go back to here. I think I was a bit clever with this list. I think these should go back to the relevant courses. Let's just check that out. Let's hit this. Linux for beginners. Yes, it does. Linux for beginners, so that's fine. Let's just check a random one. PHP command line. Yep, that's good. Cool. Okay. Again, let's go and change one of these to be deactivated, and then check that deactivation. I've got a feeling it's probably going to be the same thing, although there's no way to deactivate a tutorial here. And I'm sure there was with the course. Let me see. If we click on course and then hit say view on this one. Yeah, so there was a deactivation thing going on there, which I kind of like, to be honest. But is it a requirement? Have I made it into a requirement because I've put it just in one and not the other? I'm going to put in a task for it, but I don't think it's a requirement. It's just a button. If it's not in the MVP, it's fine. So we'll create a task, add deactivate button to tutorial view page. This should go into the right hand side table. Right hand side table. Yeah. Should is spelled wrong. And see course view for an example. Okay, so it is CMS, it is UI. I'm not going to put MVP. I don't need it. Not right now. It'll be it's a nice to have, right? It's a nice to have, but not MVP. So essentially it's going to be a button there, that's all. Anyway, let's go to the edit and deactivate this thing, and then go back in and see if it is deactivated. Because before there was this button that was set, and if I hit deactivate, it's going to go yes. Deactivate, come on. Right, so that's now no. Awesome. But if I went to edit again, is that deactivate button still there? Yes, it is. And again, we've got the active flag there as well. So active checkbox. So there's two issues again with this. So remove tutorial, deactivate active checkbox. And this is tutorial, add edit. There we go. Remove tutorial. There we go. Right. Boom. It is a bug. Create. Oh no. Damn it. I should have gone and put in the lists, right? The labels. Down here. It is UI, MVP, CMS. Good. Right. Now the other one was to only show tutorial deactivate button when tutorial is active. So click on active tutorial. All right, Murphy, you all right? Hey, buddy. He's just staring at me, looking into my soul. Okay, good. You're practicing to be a doorstop. Good boy. Click on the active tutorial. Click on edit. Edit active tutorial. Deactivate tutorial. This should redirect to tutorial list. Hey, we've got a follower. Furious Duck. Where? Duck. Hey, thank you for following. Do appreciate that. Thank you very much. If you're wondering who I'm talking about, Murphy, he's my dog, by the way. Hello. Awesome. I don't know where my emojis have gone. They used to be there, so maybe I've turned them off by mistake. I don't know. I used to have emojis that jumped around. Do you have activate tutorial? They're all. Looking at OBS, I can see them all active. So, meh. Redirect to tutorial list. Okay, and then after that, notice that deactivate button is displayed. Whoop, 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 whoop. Okay, cool. Okay, did I put in the relevant bits and pieces for labels? Probably not, knowing me. No. UI, MVP, CMS, thank you. That's it. Cool. Right, tutorials. So I think that's okay. We'll go through the whole creation of a course, creation of a tutorial in just a second. But I think for now, though, that's okay. Let's go to resources. These are the books. Now, that's funny. These images are not showing. I've got a feeling that this is something to do with that image issue with the uploading job. I'm going to put in a task, though, for that. So, resource images are not showing, and I should say some And definitely MVP, CMS, and UI. Okay, so this is essentially a list of resources. Let's go and view one. Let's view this one. Someone's forgotten to style a page. That's shambolic. Let's. Oh dear. Are they all? They're all going to be like this, aren't they? They're all going to be pretty much rubbish. Yeah, they're going to be rubbish, aren't they? Right. So that's a major issue, as in compared to. That's a problem. All right. Resources are not styled. Resource view page is not styled. Tut tut tut. Which is weird because I kind of remember doing that, you know? I've got a horrible feeling that with a merge, I've gone and messed up some code, and I've gone and removed some work that I was working on. Because I remember. That's right. I was watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which I have been doing religiously for the past few months. I was watching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I had my laptop on my lap, and that was a page I was working on, because I remember there was a scene in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. where there was like in a library or something like that, and I was like, oh, I'm working on books. Right. Okay. So check. I'm going to put in a note here. Check your source control history. As I think, check source, not your source control. Let's just check source control as I think there has been a problem with the merge. Because I'm sure I've done this. Anyway, it's a bug. Labels, CMS, I'm not going to dwell on it too much. CMS, UI, MVP. It would be nice to get that done. Okay, let's create and also another one. Good. Alright, so we got the images. They are broken. The view is broken. Is the edit broken? No, that's looking good. Again, we've got this deactivate malarkey going on here. I bet there's a problem with that. Let's deactivate this. Mr. DB is saying that there's some of those images don't show on the live site either. Ooh. That's not good. Okay, thank you for that. I will put that down. I've got another list specifically for the live site. Let me just drag this down here so it's off screen. Give me a second whilst I put that in. I've literally just copied your message, and I will, if I can get change projects to be how to code well live. Essentially what's going to happen is that and then I'll put in create a task in here. It's not a story, it's a bug. There we go. So from stream, PHP books are missing images. All right, cool. Let's hit create. I'm obviously need to keep this site up and running, right? But yeah, it's frustrating that there's bugs on the live. It's frustrating. But I know the pain involved in updating that. Okay, so edit seems to be okay. What's this doing? This is going off to those various links. That's fine as well. Good. Okay. Right. Okay, I'm going to leave that there, I think. let's move on to adding a course. Let's go back to the courses and then do the whole adding of stuff. Okay, so I'm going to create a course. Let's go test review course, because this is a test review course. Temp course. Duration is, let's say it's 60 seconds or whatever the timestamp will be. This is a test. The slug is test review course. I'm not going to publish it yet. There are 1,000 views on this. I'm not going to put it to active. It's going to be how to code well. Let's drag over a screenshot that I've just taken to there. Yeah, I'm the only author. There's a little bit of issue with that hanging off the page, but yeah, I'll put in a task for that. Whoops, in the wrong project. Bear with me a minute. Woo! Projects. View all projects. How do you... Okay. There we go, the portal. Bring that back up. There we go. Okay, so the save button when we're creating a course. The save button is misaligned when creating a course. I suppose I should screenshot that just so I know what I'm talking about. But that's gone in, which is great. Let me just create another one just so I can see that save button jobby. So, there we go. That is not correct. So let's drag that on. Come on. Over there. Thank you. Scroll. It is labels, MVP, UI, and CMS. Okay, good. We'll create another one. Alright, so let's go back to the list. Let's play around with this one now. So I've just created that. It's not active. What I can do is hit view. That's fine. I was kind of hoping that there was a button here that I could just do add tutorials, but no, there isn't. But to do that, I would go tutorials, create a new tutorial, and then I would... There should be an assignment here. Yes. So this would be test review course. There we go. So the order of this is a bit strange, but I'm not really sure what the order should be, to be honest. Anyway, so this is tutorial 1. Test tutorial, blah. Display order. I don't know what's required and what isn't. Let's hit save. This. Test. Save. Now that's an issue. This is an issue. There is an issue here. The free URL and the premium URL, there should at least be one of them. So let's edit this again. Okay, so this is a bug. Okay, there should be at least hang on, how am I going to word this? Essentially what I need is a callback for the validator to make sure that there is either a free or a premium or both. Tutorial validation. course links is broken. There should be a each tutorial should have a free course or a premium course or both. Okay, cool. So again, MVPC, yeah, fine. All right, good. Hey, Mojack. Couldn't change my name from the Twitch profile settings. Anyway, I'm enjoying. No worries, thank you. Cool. Okay, so. Whoops. Right. Yeah. So there needs to be either one of these things, really. Let's see if I can find a tutorial that I've done. I'm gonna knock this down here because I don't want this to suddenly go nuts on the ads and stuff. Bear with me a second whilst I find... No, stop, don't play, thank you. Videos. Yeah, let's try the one that I've just put in the... Stop, don't play. Good. I don't know what advert that's about, but whatever. Hit share. There should be the link there. There we go. Copy that. So this is the latest PHP array tutorial. And what I want to do is just put this in the free URL and then hit update. Cool. And then what I want to do is show this, and then we should have it displayed. Yes, we do. Wonderful. Good. So if we go to courses now, we should see the course with the tutorial in the list, right? So this is the course. So test review course. If we hit view, we should see a list of tutorials, in that course, tutorial 1. If I hit view on this, we should go straight to that tutorial, which we do. Let's hit back, and if we hit edit, we should be able to go into the edit of that tutorial. We do. All right. Okay, so that kind of works. That's okay. That kind of works. It kind of does what I need. Now there's a bit of I can kind of see I can kind of see a problem with this, with the whole display order thing. Wouldn't it be nice to have a way of sorting them, like drag and drop? Or is that too something like if I go over to this one, hit view, wouldn't it be, I don't know if this is getting too complicated for the MVP, but having a way of ordering this, so perhaps this needs to be above, I don't know, is that too difficult? It might be for the MVP. I mean, really what I would do if I wanted to change that, then I would go to edit. Let's say I wanted to take that down to 4, then I would change the display order to 4. But here's the issue. If I hit 4 and then hit update, there is of course a tutorial at position 4 already, and I bet this doesn't validate that. No, so there is a bug. And I've gone and forgotten which one I just changed. If I did courses again, what was it that I just changed? Was it, let's hit back a couple of times. I can't remember. Oh, it was how to display hidden fields, right? Searching for Docker images, which would be here, searching for Docker images. So let's refresh this. We should see, that we have 2, 4 and 4. Yeah, so that's a broken piece of failing logic there. Really, what I think I need to do is not allow me to manipulate the display order by a text box and have this way of drag and dropping, because I can't just put that as 4 and that as 4. That's not going to make any sense, is it? There's no way around this, to be honest, is there? Not really, because when you do a drag and drop, it reorders the whole list. But I want to do this in a way that doesn't take a lot of my time, and just is okay for the MVP. Because now I'm thinking that there needs to be a way to update this. Unless I updated it on the fly using Ajax, but again, that's difficult. Maybe if there was just a single screen that had all of the tutorials like this list, and with a drag and drop and a save. So a button here that just says change order, and you change the order, and it's just a screen like this, and you drag and drop. Or maybe just a button called save, where you just save the order on that. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's write something down before I go too far down that rabbit hole. Is it a bug? Yes, because the display order you can have multiple display orders of the same order, which is not good, of the same value. So I better put that down. So display orders, tutorial display order is not unique. So this is going to be a database issue, because there needs to be a uniqueness on this. And then obviously with the uniqueness of the display order, there needs to be compounded by the course. Oh, that's going to get complicated. But anyway, so adjust database so that display order is unique with compound key of course ID. Of course ID, because essentially it's going to be something like course ID display, and that should be a unique key. Okay. And then create. I think for that should be good. And what we'll do is we'll link this. This is create that. We'll link this to 273. So it is a task. Create. It's a feature. Create order tutorial order listing, or allow for drag and drop tutorial reordering ordering. Okay, let's list this out. Create drag and drop tutorials. Where's the music gone? Tutorials. Create drag and drop tutorials in the course view page, or let's just say adjust tutorial table in the course view page. There we go. In the course view page, so that the tutorials can be dragged, can be reordered, dragged, stroke, reordered. Okay, add a save button, which will save the order of save the new order, save the new display order. Sorry if I'm taking ages on this. I'm thinking about the process whilst I'm typing. Add a save button which will save the new display order based on the I know what that means. What else do I need apart from a lot of JavaScript? I think that should... Oh yes. Whoops. Murphy, calm down, buddy. Jeez, gave me a fright there, mate. Remove the tutorial. Buddy? Bear with me a minute, guys. I just gotta check on Murphy. You're okay. You're okay. Let's go have a look, shall we? Let's go have a look. It's okay. There's a dog barking around here, and he's just saying hello. Okay, remove the tutorial order, display order, from the tutorial add stroke edit forms, right? Because that's how we're going to reorder them now. So this links to relates to this. Yeah. Okay. All right. Was that MVP? That needs to be MVP. Let me just double check that. Yes, it is. Good. Okay. Let's get rid of that one. Right. Are we nearly there? I think really that kind of covers it. I think that covers it. I don't want to go too far in depth with this because I can see myself going into a rabbit hole and then spending 2 weeks doing a feature and not actually coming up with what I need. Resources, I think I need to just look at them off stream. I think there's a lot to do with those images. Let me just double check the creation of the resources for a minute. So create new. Please tell me that's been styled. Yeah, okay, cool. So why is that? Okay, there is some issues here. Why is this in a text area? For a start, that isn't good. So let's create a new issue. Resources, so change URL field in resources to be a text box. At the moment, it is a text area. Now, I'm a little bit worried about this, to be honest. It is an easy change to do. However, I'm thinking because we use the maker bundle, there might be something wrong with the way the database is set up. So I'm going to have a little noodle in the code and just have a look. So just give me a second whilst I do that. src, it's in form, it's in resources. The URL is coming from the entity. Entity. Where are we? Entities. Sorry, resources. Where are we? Resources. There. And its URL. Yeah, that needs to be a string. Oh no. Why? Wonderful. Great. I'll put that as a bug. This is... Damn it. This is an issue with the entity data type. Can I put down code? No, I'm going to have to use that silly little code thingy, aren't I? Where are we? Here. Change that to code PHP, and this is resource entity. This is going to require a migration. Wonderful. So this is CMS. It is UI. It's a good job I went through these resources. This is API. No, it's DB. It's not API. It's DB. And it certainly is MVP. Okay. My book. Foobar. I bet that's not even validated. And let's just do test.jpg. Brilliant. Nope, that's just gonna fail. That's gonna fail. Okay, so first things first. Resource URL needs to be validated. Validated. This should use the URL validation, Symfony validation. Symfony validation constraint. It's not database, but it's that. Okay. Tags. Did I just create one without a tag there? That's not good. So there needs to be a tag. So it's a bug. Resources. So tags are required for resources, but not validated. But no add validation for tags and resources. A resource must have a tag. There we go. Okay. Good. Right. Also, when we're editing a resource, that isn't highlighted. It's not a massive issue, but it's a pain. I'm going to go through. Let's just do that. It's a bug. So editing a. So let's do resource. Highlight. Primary menu is not highlighted. Correctly. And what I'll do is say resources, because I'm There's bound to be others. Resource, edit. Is it also the case with the resource add? Let's have a little look. In fact, the resource index isn't good. Resource index, yeah. So let's create another one. That should be like a yellow. Yeah. That's not good. Resource. Add. Okay, so let's add and edit. What about tutorials? Let's take a look at those. Oh, let's also take a look at, sorry, going back and see it's gone yellow there. I am jumping forward and back here. I need to do resource show. Yeah, that's not done. Or resource view, as we're calling it. All right. Let's take a look at tutorials. That's fine, that's highlighted. Show is highlighted. Edit. That's fine. And add. Let's have a look at add. So create view. Yes, that's what I'm thinking with the order. Mojek. So what I would do is I would probably have a hidden field for each one of those. So if I showed you, if we went back to, I'll develop this live on stream, I think. So when we get to it, whenever that is, I need to go through the sprints and split them all up. But when we get to it, I think it's in course, isn't it? Let's hit one with stuff. So yeah, here. I think there's only 3, but whatever, on the PHP command line. Yeah, these 3, right? So what I would do is I would have a hidden field. This would basically be a form, essentially, with a save button, save order button type thing here. And there would be a hidden field for each one of these table rows. And the hidden field would hold the order, so the number that represents the order that they're in. And then when I would hit save, that would send it to a page with those hidden fields, like you would just normally submit a form. So you would have, okay, yes, I've just thought. So you'd have a hidden field for the ID of each of the tutorials, and a hidden field for the display order. You would then loop over those and go and persist each one and just change the order of each. So essentially at this point you're doing an update on these 3 tutorials. So yeah, that's what I would do. I say that now. Cool, okay. So courses looks like that's good with the view, with that. Let's just take a look at the other pages. So course add and course edit, it probably is just the because we just done the edit and we've just done the view, I think. I can't remember if we've done the edit. Let's just check. I think it might just be the resources that aren't wired up correctly to show the right thing. Again, it's not really a nasty, it's not going to prevent me from going live. It's going to be one of those rainy day jobbies just to make this yellow. That's fine. Cool. So yeah, it was just resources. Let's hit create. I'm not going to show you the customer bit yet because it's not really baked well. and I'm still thinking about how the customers are going to be set up, their profiles and stuff like that. So it's kind of like just a placeholder at the moment. These three are the main jobs at the moment. I guess what I should do is just check that I can log out. That would be good. Can I do that? It's taking its sweet time, but it's done. Okay, that's good. It's gone straight back to the login page. Let's see if I can actually access a page that I shouldn't be able to access. Let's do /course. That should get me all the course list. And if this works, it should redirect again back to this login page. It does. Awesome. So that's good. So that firewall works. The Symfony firewall. And I can log that in. Good. This I don't think goes anywhere yet. I don't really know what I'm going to do with that, but it just shows you the person logged in. Yeah, I think that covers all that was done in that sprint. All the things I can show you. There was a ton of DevOps stuff that I had to do to get it over the fence. But right, now what I'm going to do, excuse me, is triage this. Is go through, geez, there's loads, isn't there? Go through these. The first thing I want to do is ensure that they've got the right labels. So what's the best way of doing this? I want to essentially, if there was a way of viewing all of these with labels against them, that would be fantastic. Does anybody know how to do that? If I did label and then MVP, could there be a way of doing advanced issue filter? I want all, so I want status. Let me just bring that down a minute, because let's change the project to be the right one first. That would help. And then, so that's the right project. The type is going to be anything, I suppose. Status is going to be to do or in progress. The assignee is going to be anybody. Can I do label? Can I do where label isn't MVP to get a list of all the ones that need to be addressed? I'm not sure. So I can, these are all the MVP labels. Description, environment, flagged, organization. I basically want to say does not have this label. I'm not sure if I can. What's this switch to JQL jazz? Switch to advanced search using JQL. All I want to do is just say doesn't include this label. Maybe I can't do that. That's annoying. I think I might have to Google that. Let's go to list view. There we go. If there was a way of having a label on this thing, that would be amazing. Can I reported all issues, open issues, done issues? No, I don't need those. Columns. Here we go, columns. Can I have label in my column, please? Epic link, images, labels. Here we go. Done. So where's the labels? Here we go. Okay, excellent. So now I should be able to go through and to see which ones don't have the MVP label. Yeah. All right. So they're good. Has MVP, MVP. This one. Add deactivate button to tutorial view page. Hang on a minute. In progress and to do. That's done. Add deactivate button to... That's not right. Can I click on that? This should go into the right hand side. Add okay. No, that is something that we've just done, and it is an MVP because I've decided it isn't. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. MVP. This one here is add favicon to the CMS. Yep, that's not MVP. All of these MVP. That's fine. CMS edit only, show deactivate button if courses. Yep. This one add supplier to course view page. Doesn't have anything in there. Can I click on that and change these labels? So it's UI, it's CMS. Is it MVP? Yeah, I suppose it is. It's only a little thing. Oh, I sound like a right client, don't I? It's only a simple thing. You'll have it done in an hour, won't you? You're that good of a developer. Okay, so now I've refreshed the page. I've gone and messed up my whole listing here, which is annoying. Add favicon, scroll down here, DevOps. I'm looking for anything that doesn't have MVP against it. Add course duration to show hours, minutes, and seconds. Yes, not an MVP. This one, order tutorials by display order. Yeah, I think this is going to be an MVP. Because we've discovered that we can't do what we intend to, that we should be able to do. So that's now MVP. Fine. Remove web debug from staging. Yes. Invalid entities. Yes. Invalid entities again. This one doesn't have anything. Fix homepage redirection. That sounds a bit major. Did I write anything to do with this? CMS. Oh yes. Yeah. I'll put this down as a MVP. I mean, essentially that just needs to jump to that. So yeah. Okay, let's go back a mo. MVP. This one here. Add make file to Docker ignore. Yeah, this should be MVP, I guess. It's a DevOps-y type thing. It is MVP. It is... yeah, that's about it, really, isn't it? Okay. Next. That's fine. API, CMS, content, MVP, and UI. That's a big one. Featured courses. Ah, yes. That's a potential next sprint. This one here, create DB backup script for staging, is DevOps and is MVP. Definitely needs to be done. DB. Okay, good. Then MVP UI, blog MVP, blog cards misaligned. Okay, so can we go to the next page? API, DB or UI, add tagging display order. Oh, hang on, resource fixes. That's a bit of a broad summary there. Resource fixes. Fix all the things. Well, I'm not going to put it as done. Can I delete this? Because this makes absolutely no sense. It's not helpful at all. How do I... Is there a way I can delete this issue from this point? Add apps. I don't want to add an app. Let's just put it to the done. It's done. Whatever. Just get it out the list. That was useless. Okay, add tagging display order. Add field on the tag entity which will hold a numeric value for the display order. Sort by, no, it's not MVP. Not MVP. Tagging feature, API DB UI, that is not an MVP. I've decided that isn't going to be on the first launch. Remove port 8081 from image URL, that has already been done. I did that the other evening. I obviously just didn't update this, so that's done. Is that saved? Okay, I'm going to refresh this and Mo. Yeah, okay, that's all sorted. Yep. Deactivate the account. Reset the password. Okay, these are both MVP stuff. There really isn't anything to this. So this is deactivate the account from the CMS. From this is create a feature. Allow. No. Essentially, this is me wanting to deactivate an account from the content management system. Feature to allow users to be deactivated from the CMS. All right, so labels. MVP, CMS, it's going to be database, it's going to be UI, and save. We might have other labels like customer and stuff down the road, but okay. Right, this one here, reset the password, definitely MVP. So allow, create. This is very high level stuff at the moment. So create feature to allow users to reset their password. Now, I guess we could flesh this out. Their password. I guess we could flesh this out a little bit. Because essentially what we'll need is a way of sending them an email with a reset link. So the reset link needs to be built with the expiry date plus a confirmation token. So create a confirmation token, create expiry date, create link with create unique link with that's token with expire date plus token. Actually no, just have don't put the expire date on the link, just have a token with token. Alright, send link to user, check link against database, and then check expiry date, validate token, validate given token, and expiry date. We also need to add a form, don't we, for this. So create form for requesting. This is a big task. Requesting password reset. Create confirmation token. Create expiry date. Create unique link with token. Send link to user via email. Check link against. So we therefore need a form. Create form for processing token. So essentially what happens is they have a form, they put in their email address, and then what happens is in the background, the confirmation, a confirmation token, a unique confirmation token gets created, saved to the database against their record, and then that gets sent out to them via an email address based on the email address that they've supplied. And then once they get it, that has a link back to this form. With a form has a checkbox, a text box, beg your pardon, where they put in the token. In fact, does it need to be a form if it's a token? Anyway, right. So, and then they hit submit. It then checks the expiry date and the token, and it asks them to reset. Yeah. So, I mean, we'll review this again when we get to it. But I just want to dump everything in my head. Oh, my brain is mush right now. Validate given an expiry date. Given token. Validate token and expiry date. Create form. This is a big task. I think I'll need to split this up into small tasks. Create form for password reset, and then update password with new password. Wow. All right, we'll save that. Labels, MVP definitely. UI, it's database, it's yeah, is it going to touch any API stuff? Well, if you think about it from the front end, it's going to be a CMS. No, sorry, the front end is going to be a Gatsby static stuff. So we'll have to make an API request to generate the. Yes, it's going to need an API. Yeah. So from the front end, let's go through this again. From the front end, let's break this up. Front end. Okay, create the form for requesting password reset. On submit, send API request to create the confirmation token, create the expiry date, create a unique link with the token, send link to user via email. All right, and then again, front end wise, let's just get rid of that. I know. We check. We create a form for processing the token. Could this be a page? Because it's just going to be a link, a unique link. Create page for processing token. We're then going to need another API, aren't we? Because we need an API. Send token to via API. Send token via API to check link against database, validate the token and expiry date. Okay. And then depending, okay, yeah, if token stroke expiry is correct, then create the form for password reset, and then update password with new password. So this is going to be send form via API to gosh, this is like this. There's loads here. To update the password with new password, and then back one display validation. and confirmation. Wow. Okay, that's going to be a beast. The beast. Right. Yikes. Yikes, 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 yikes. It's going to be an interesting one, especially with Gatsby and the API and everything. This means that the API needs to be up all the time for this to happen. Yeah. I'll just have to swallow that, I think. Unless I do this serverless, of course. Oh, that's tasty. There's a little thing in my head saying, no, don't overcomplicate it. Just have the API up running all the time. I'm thinking if it was serverless, then it would just be active when someone submits that. That could be its own little microservice, you know? Oh, here I go. It could be its own little service. I could even write it in Node, where when someone submits the form, that spins up a Lambda script, which accesses the database, does all the things that we've just said here, and then when they submit, when they click on the link, that could even go off to Lambda through the gateway. Right. I'm going to put those down as notes. Could be done via serverless. Lambda, so that API does not need to be up all the time. But to be honest, people are going to be logging in and out, so there's going to be a need for the API to be up anyway. Which kind of blows this whole thing out of the water, to be honest. Unless there was a Lambda script for login. No. No, I'll just have to be very eyes on the traffic, I think. But let's put a note in here. So the API will be needed for login. So don't overcomplicate it. Bold. Yeah, let's not overcomplicate this. Could be done via serverless Lambda so that the API does not need to be up all the time. However, the API will be needed for login, so don't overcomplicate. Yeah, just a little note to myself there. I know what I'm like. I go, oh, this is a tasty little thing. Let's build it in a Lambda script. Just because I can. Not because I need to. Okay. Right, let's go back to the buggeroonies. So let's just refresh to get back to where we were. Resetting of the password, that's fine. Create an API endpoint that returns users most viewed videos. Now, this is an interesting one because essentially when someone logs in, I would like them to take them to a dashboard. Now, I don't know what the shape of that dashboard looks like. One of the ideas I had was to show them the most recent viewed courses. However, this would mean that I would need to have an API endpoint to send the most viewed courses. And in terms of an MVP, I'm not sure whether this is a good idea. It sounds like a feature that I could implement after it goes live. So we're not going to put that as MVP. I'm not going to do that. Create all course descriptions definitely needs to be done, and that's what I hope the CMS will allow me to do. Create an API endpoint that returns the user's viewed tutorials. Again, it's not MVP. Create an API endpoint that returns users viewed courses. Not MVP. Cannot register. Definitely a bug, and definitely in there. Validate a potential polymorphic call. The code may be inoperable depending on the actual class instance passed as the argument. This is fixed, and I fixed this when I was dealing with the PHP stan issues. So can I get rid of this? This is done. Off you go. Refresh there. Okay, where were we? Okay, successful registration should go to the account page. It should do. Register required messages should be read. It's not really an MVP thing. Integrate, add this widget, not MVP. Create an email service, definitely MVP. You're gonna need some way of sending emails to people. Definitely. I don't even know what I'm gonna use yet. But it's going to be all the things: MVP, UI, CMS, DB, API, DevOps, potentially not UI, but yeah, off-stream. I need to think about this one. So that's a later task. Display successful alert when forgot password form. Display successful alert when forgot password form is valid. See, I can't read my own stuff here. I don't really know what that says about. Forgot password is valid. Well, yeah, I guess it's going to be an MVP, right? I do need this. MVP UI. That's fine. Good. Okay. Display successful alert when password is changed. So this is the fact of allowing people to change their passwords in the account section. So yeah, this needs to be done. UI, DB, and API as well. Yep. Display error when. Yeah, these things here, these are interesting jobbies. These are. Let me get to tackle those. When forms are in, that's such a broad statement. Display alert when forms are invalid. I'm gonna put this as my account. I'm gonna probably create a label called my account here, and we're also gonna have. Did that go in? My account, please. Let's create a new label. Thank you. You can't have spaces. Oh, wonderful. Let's just do profile. Okay, it is UI, MVP, and API. No worries, Jeremy. Thank you very much for joining. I hope you have a good rest of your day. Take care. Take care. Getting a little bit nervous as I can't hear Murphy. And I haven't heard him for at least half an hour, so I might check on him in just a second. Display alert when forms are invalid. So this is in the profile screen. Display section. Yep. Okay. So MVP, UI, API. Okay, and then this one, display when user logs out. Yes. So I just don't want people to just hit the log out button and go, oh, I've logged out. I want something to say, you've logged out, with perhaps potentially a link back to logging in. But this should go back to login page. Okay, gosh, there's loads. We're only on the second page. Display successful alert. Have I done those? Let's refresh. To do display successful. Yeah, this lot here, this group of tasks. Right. So, display successful alert when user logs in definitely is UI. Did I have anything in here for front end? Do I have anything in here for... No. Front end. Just because I've got something for CMS. Cool. That's done. Create an alert feature flag. I'm going to get rid of that. Oops, that's just... Okay, fine. Create success alert. This is for the UI front end. Right, so this is where I'm creating... this should have a green background. Yep. Okay, create error alert. This should have a red background. This should have a red background. Basically, these are like warning messages or, error messages. UI and then front end. So a little bit of style there, which we will do. That's a bit exciting, a bit of style. Next list, create alert component. Aha. So this is wanting to create a component for both of those. So really, this should link, shouldn't it? It should link to success, display successful alert. And there is also, there's loads, isn't there? Create alert when password is changed. Forms are invalid. Profile changes. Yikes. Successful alert when the user logs out. Look for alert. That's fine. Another alert. Yep. Another alert. Yep. Right. It's not the alert system and the live alert. I'll talk about those in just a minute. It's not blocked. It's relates to. Let's link them all. Good. Okay. So this is a React. Create a React component. Component to handle success and error alerts. I'm going to change this from alert to be no, we'll keep it to alert. We'll keep it to alert. It's only because I've also used alert in a different context. So, and it's probably easier to change that. Let's go MVP UI front end on these things. Front end, there we go. Good. I can't spell success. Good. So let's refresh this. Good. Okay, so it's where are we at now? Add Rss Feed resources. Well, where did we go? Here. Here, create. Oh, these two are unassigned. Why have I not? These two need to be MVP, right? And so does that. Yeah. Sorry, I'm going backwards and forwards here. Bear with me a second. MVP. And we'll assign it to myself. assign that one, and this is also MVP. Yeah, so these are the alerts for when things go well or don't go well. That's again MVP. So like if they try and log in with incorrect details, then we give them we show them an alert, a warning essentially. Cool, but there is an alert system that I did think about doing. Definitely not for MVP, but essentially what I'm thinking, wherever it's gone now, wherever it's disappeared, alert system here. It's not MVP, but it will require. Oh wait, hang on a minute. Create alert system. Why have I just linked all of this? Hang on. I've gone and messed this up. It's not, create an alert system isn't what I was thinking here. Damn, how do I sort that out? I've gone and confused. Ugh, I've confused myself. Essentially, oh wait, is that the epic to this story? Yeah, it is to these tasks. Yeah, it is. Alright, okay, never mind. Never mind, I know what I'm doing now. It's just because that's an epic. Fine, whatever. It's these live alerts, sorry. So alert system needs to be MVP. Ugh. Front end. Alright. Apologies. This live alert system, this is what I was thinking, right? So whenever I'm live, there is something that comes up on the website to say I'm live, and then a link to the live stream, be it on Twitch or YouTube or wherever I choose to go live. But it's not going to be for the MVP, definitely not. Okay, add all resources. So this is content. So we'll put in content off stream and content. So this is going through all of the resources, all those books that I have on the live site, and put them on here. And then let's go back. List all tags with a count. It's UI, it's going to be an API DB type thing, and front end, definitely not MVP though. Definitely not MVP. List all items in the category by tag. Not MVP. Let's get rid of that. But UI and front end. Okay, cool. Create category page. Not MVP. It's not. Oops. Too many things. Not MVP. Create a category page. It is front end. Okay. Resources. That's an epic. Okay, we'll skip over that one. Allow tutorials to be auto-played. Would be nice. Not in an MVP though. It sounds like a feature that I'll add after launch, but is a nice idea. I think. Pre-live adjustments, that's a bit broad. Let's have a little look. Create all the tutorial fixtures. Yeah, we're not doing that anymore. Because we've got because how do I delete this? How do I get rid of this? How do I get rid of this task? There was a button, wasn't there? Pre-live adjustments. Can I just get rid of the whole bulk edit? No. Let's click on this one. Ugh, this is so annoying. How do I get rid of this task? I could just mark it as done. It's not technically done, but we're now using the CMS to add the fixtures. So let's just knock that off as done as well, because whatever, just get rid of it. create all the tutorial fixtures done. Add tags to courses is CMS, UI, CMS, and also front end. No, not front end. It's not MVP. Essentially, what I would like is to tag my courses by PHP, by programming language, essentially, but not MVP. Optional learning order for courses, so that would be nice. It's like an order for every course, so go to this course and then after this course go to this course, that kind of thing. Not MVP. It's a nice little feature to do after launch. Add an RSS feed for the blog. Would be nice to do it as MVP, I think. No, I'm not going to put that as MVP because I'll get too bogged down in it. I think it's one for after launch. There's going to need to be an API alteration there as well. Thinking about that's quite large, so we'll do that after launch. Fine. Create security form. What's this? Yes, this is definitely MVP. This is now the form, front end, and API work. Definitely, this is going to be a bit of work. Create profile form. Again, this is a bit of work as well. Add publish date to what? That's just a random task. How do I get rid of that? I don't really know what that was about. Done. Create a staging deployment script. Kind of done. I'll add a comment to this. It's kind of done. This is half done, but requires some more work, with condensing the make file for the for the makefile, condensing the makefile. I know what I'm doing on that, condensing the makefile. My makefile for this is quite big. Let's just put in some examples. So move IP into variable, move SSH keys into SSH config, or let's just create SSH config. Create SSH config for staging env. I could go on and on there. I know what I'm doing there. So it's DevOps and offstream. Okay, next on the list of things to do, create a pricing tier page. That is done. However, it's done, but so this is done, but prices. No, I'm not going to say anything on that, to be honest. I think what I'm going to do is just mark it as done. I'll do a review at the end. So it is, the page has been created, so yeah. But I need to assess my thought process on the pricing structure of things. Show current subscription in user dashboard. Definitely MVP. That would be nice, wouldn't it? User can see previously watched courses in their members area. Not MVP. Nice to have. We're moving on to stories now. Subscribed user can see ad-free courses. That's definitely MVP. User can see their invoices. Not sure about that, to be honest, as an MVP task. It would be nice. I need to investigate investigate Stripe API for downloading, for accessing payment history. Yeah, because that could be a whole, like, a whole 3 months worth of work there in terms of what we do. User can change their profile, definitely. I'm gonna change this to be front end, API, database, off-stream, DevOps, all the things, forms, staging. Yep. Okay, user can change their profile is definitely MVP. User can change their email should definitely be MVP as well. I think. Should we allow them to change their email? Yes. Yes, because there's a username and an email address, and they can be different. Let me just put in a note here. Make sure that the email, whoops. Make sure that the email and the user, can't spell, email and username is not used in the same way by the security by FOSS user, I suppose. By FOSS user, yeah. By the same way in FOSS user. So basically one or the other. Did I set that to MVP? Yeah, I did. Good. Okay, user can change their subscription. Yes, definitely MVP. Logged in functionality now. Some of this is already done, but we will set that to MVP, UI, front end, API, DB. Yeah, that'll do. Create security pages. Have I done this already? No, I haven't done that. So this is just linking those to deactivate account and so forth there, which I think we should see on the next page. There's 112 tasks here to go through, and this is not all of them, not at all. Create billing pages. Have I got anything back there? In the accounts section, add a link to the billing page. The billing page will show the previous orders in a table. The table will contain payment date and payment amount. Again, this really relies on Stripe, to be honest. So I'm gonna just not worry about that one too much. We're talking quite far down the line. Show course description. To what? Adjust the portal to show the course description. This is kind of done. I want to say that this is kind of done, but we're blocked by creating all of the course descriptions, so I obviously thought that I need to do that first. But we did say that we want to have all of these in like a Wysiwyg editor, so it's not done, to be honest. So front end, API, DB, CMS. Yep. Yeah, so it's not done. Okay, next one. Course page is free. Okay, course page is free. Create a page to show all courses, which is free. Create a page to show course. Yeah, this is done. Done. Live page. So this is create a live page with Twitch embed. This is done. I don't know why I put that as a subtask of a little task. There's no point really, but whatever. That's done. User authentication. So there's still a bunch of stuff there, but again, this is MVP stuff. It's front end. work, blog page. This is done. Create API test for logout. So this is, I had this mad idea of just writing down my tests in Jira, and I'm not sure if that was a good idea, but anyway, create API for test for logout, that's MVP, that's good. Create acceptance test for register, MVP, and create acceptance test for login. We've just done all the tasks. Woo, wow, okay. Good, right. So all the tasks have been labeled correctly. So now what I can do is I can look for a label that has MVP in it. There we go. So only tasks are showing now that have MVP in them, and there are 79. Now there's going to be a lot more as we go through. We'll just slowly adapt. We'll slowly add them as they go. But what I want to do now is sort of plan what I'm going to do in the next sprint. Now, I think the next sprint is going to be like a tidy up, a fix of some of the CMS stuff that we've mentioned here, and as well as new features. One of the new features that I would like to have worked on, which I don't think we're going to have much time on. Let me just check bear with me a moment. Is that I wanted to do featured courses because this is my featured courses list, and I want to have this to be both external and internal courses. Internal to how to code well, external to say courses that I've done for Manning publications and Pact publications. Now I'm not. What I'll do is I'll put this as a task, and I'll put this in as a single sprint. But I'm not sure that will be the sprint that we work on straight away. But let me just create that as a. Let's go back to here. How do I get back to my? How do I get back to my How do I get... I've got to go back to the projects. That's a bit weird, isn't it? I have to go back to the project, select the project. Strange. All right. Okay. All right. So what we'll do is we'll go back to the backlog and we'll create a sprint specifically for the featured thing, because there isn't any tasks yet for this. So we're going to change the sprint title to be featured courses. So the goal is to display featured 4 on the homepage. Now, the idea is that, let's say, for instance, this will be my Docker in Motion for Manning publications. This will be my Pact publication course for Python clean coding. This will be my Pact publication course for microservices in Python. This will be my AWS course for Udemy, that kind of thing. And I was thinking about maybe making this into a carousel, but again, reining it back in for the MVP, 4 is okay for now. Otherwise, I'm just going to be showing the same courses here. So I think the first thing I need to do, because there's nothing in the CMS, we'll tackle it from the CMS point of view first. There's nothing in here to say that when I create a course, it's external or internal. I don't think. There's the supplier, so I can change it from here, and we obviously need to have another supplier for Udemy here too, and Skillshare and all the rest of them. But there is no because essentially this is going for an external course. This is a course that will not have any tutorials in them because it's handled by the publication. Essentially, this is going to be an image, and they click on the image and it takes them off to Manning or Pack Publications or Udemy or wherever. That's essentially all it is. Or if it's an internal course, it'll take them to the courses page. So for example, if this was, so we've got the Docker for Beginners here. If that was Docker for Beginners and we clicked on this, then it would go off to this courses page. So there's going to be a little bit of sort of intelligent logic there. Or I could just say, no, these are all external courses in the first iteration of this phase. That might be best. We've got four blocks here. We've got Docker in motion, Python clean coding, Python microservices, AWS S3. I mean, there's more Udemy courses that I've done, but I could populate this with 4 external courses quite easily here, couldn't I? I think what I need to do we have pencil on here? Yeah, we got pencil on here. Woo! Whoa, that's that's huge. Let me draw this out. This is a drawing program. And essentially, let's go and draw a diagram. So let's say, for instance, I want to have, we're going to do some entities. So I just want common shapes. Let's create a new document here. So let's say, for example, I'm going to just throw on a rectangle. So we're going to put in, it's going to be featured courses, featured course. Can we change that color from blue to something, because it's, there we go, featured course. And we'll knock that up so you can see it on the screen. Featured course will have external, let's do it as the database name, as the database table name, so external course. And that would be featured course. Then you would have the course. You would also have tutorial. Now I just need to double check something, because I do think we have, yeah, we've got course external here as the entity, and it's linked to a course. And then we've got the URL. So we already have the entity for this. So the way this is already set up is that we have that goes to there. We want a featured course, which is either that one or that one. And that has a tutorial. So if I was to bring it down a little bit, so featured course at the top, there's that, there is that, and then there's at the bottom there. So let's put in some lines. So can I haven't used this program in a long time. No, I can't. Can I curve this line? Whoops. That's free line. What's a free line? Let's have a look at that. Yes, I can. So a featured course could be a course. Okay. It could also be, I mean, this is now becoming quite noddy, to be honest. It could also be a external course. An external course, this is the gotcha, is a course. And a course has a tutorial. All right. Enough of this madness. Let's. It's not really a two-way thing, is it? Can I sort that out? So don't put in these. So no, it needs an end arrow. External course is a course. There we go. External course is a course. And then that. Does that have the start? End arrow. Did I get rid of that? End arrow, start arrow. There we go. Right, that is there. Okay, so that needs to go down to the start arrow. That needs to go down to the start arrow as well. And then that needs to get rid of that. There we go. All right, so a featured course could be an external course or a course. If it's an external course, it is linked to a course, essentially, and a course has a tutorial. I just wanted that map in my brain to come out. So let's save this. Can I save this? Whoops. How do I do it? I haven't used this in such a long time. Aha, save as. There we go. Can we save it as an image? That would be amazing if I could. Export. How do I export it? Oh, as a rasterized pong. Okay, fine. No problemo. That apparently has been exported. Okay, I'm going to put this in as the edit sprints. Oh, I can't put an image in here, that's a shame. Alright, so create. So essentially, off of the back of this, I need to have a featured course entity. And we will grab that. It is assigned to myself. It is going into that sprint. And could I drag that onto there? Is that possible? Yeah. Okay, cool. So we got the image there. So a featured course can either be a course stroke internal or a external course. Okay, right, good. The next issue is create a API that returns featured courses. Now I just want to check, is that going to be, no, the labels aren't right. UI, MVP, front end, API, database. MVP, API, DB. It's not API, it's just the database. Okay, we're gonna need a way of adding this, right? So we're gonna need a CMS. So create a section in the CMS to add, to create a featured course. No, I don't like the wording of that. Add CMS feature to create a featured course. Okay, good. Again, this needs to be labeled as MVP front end. It's both not front end. It's UI. It's CMS. And essentially, we need something like this to update a featured course. We need another one here to deactivate a featured course. Good. What else do we need to do from the CMS's point of view? I suppose I could. I bet these aren't labeled correctly. No. UI CMS. It would be nice to clone an issue, right? And then and just change the title. Alright, so what else do I need to do for this? When we get to the tasks, I'll fill them out, fill the descriptions out. So I'm only interested in the top level stuff at the moment. So I guess the next thing is to create the front end, right? So, update front end with featured courses. And I think that's a nice, it's an API job. It's a nice, nice thing here, a nice little package of for this sprint. We obviously need to add featured courses via CMS. So that's a bit of copy there. So this is going to be labeled by MVP and CMS and content Okay, so we create the featured course entity. We create an API that returns the featured courses. We add a CMS feature to create a featured course. We add a CMS feature to update a featured course. We add a CMS feature to deactivate a featured course. We create add a CMS feature to list a featured course. Featured courses. I appreciate these aren't worded very well. So we've got the listing, we've got the list, we've got the add, we've got the delete, we've got the edit. We've got the creation of the entity, and then we've got the API that fetches it, and then we're updating the front end. I think that kind of covers the top level tasks needed for that. However, there is no way yet in a course to say that this is to go somewhere else. So we've got how to code well and supplier here. So maybe it's a case of if the supplier is not how to code well, then we give them a link. Is there a URL on here? No, there isn't. There's a slug, right? So that's an internal slug. But we need to have an external. We need to have an external URL. Because if I'm thinking about it, you could have for Docker in Motion, it would be nice to have a page about Docker in Motion. Therefore, you would have a slug, but then you would need to have an external URL to push that off. So yeah, I'm going to need to adjust the course CMS to or add even hey Sir Skull Legend. Nice username there. Very friendly. Hello. Thank you for joining. We're on like 392 followers now. That's insane. Wow. I hope you're doing well, sir, and feeling well, and doing good, having a good weekend. So, the CMS, the courses, we need to add a URL, external URL to the course entity. Now, this is also going to require me to change the edit and the view and the delete. No, the edit, the view, and the list for those things. So let's just put that down as an MVP. It's not UI, it's DB, and that's fine for now. But we do need to update the course list, the add, the not the list, sorry, the add, the edit, and the show, and the view pages stroke forms with external URL. One could argue, well, why do you need to have a featured course entity when, the featured courses are, what's the point? Couldn't it just be a course that has an external URL? The reason why I want featured courses is that I want to have an entity above which will have a display order. So it's an order of these. But that's for phase 2. So whenever I do these kind of things, I'm always trying to think about, how to make these entities in the database sort of like adaptable to future change. At least that's what I try and do. It doesn't always work. But I think that kind of covers it. Those 10 issues for that featured. That kind of feels right in my head. Now, this isn't what I want to do straight away. It's what I would have liked to have done, but that we did just find a lot of problems with the CMS. So I wouldn't mind fixing that up a bit. Also, there's a ton of DevOps stuff that I need to do that I wouldn't mind doing. And I think this is a case where even though your website is feature complete, it's not. It doesn't feature complete, in my opinion, does not mean production ready. So I think what I'm going to do is create a new sprint. And this sprint will be a tidy up sprint, right? So edit sprint. This is like a tidy up. CMS. The reason being is because I want to be in a position to update all of the courses, all of the tutorials. I want to be playing around eventually with proper data, so I think it's important to do that first rather than shoot off and do a completely different task, right? So we built the CMS in the first sprint. I think it's a good idea for the second sprint to tidy that up. So I'm going to just reduce that down. I'm going to push this. Can I bring this up to the top? There we go. Can I do that? Is that possible? Apparently not. I thought there was a way I could do that. but maybe not. I thought there was a... Do I... Because I don't want to start this sprint first. Can I bring that down? Move sprint down. Oh, apparently I have to do this by clicking on the buttons rather than dragging the thing. That's annoying. Move sprint up. There we go. So this is our sprint that we're going to do, the CMS tidy up, and it's going to have a bunch of DevOps stuff in it as well. So we're going to move the DB backup script up there. That was definitely a good one. Reduce the size of the node-based Docker image. Yes, I want to do that because that's bugging the hell out of me at the moment. I'm not worried too much about the server time yet and the reducing of the CMS Docker image yet. The node one is the big one. It's like a gig and a bit, isn't it? It's like nearly 2 gig. So I'm not worried anymore. That's kind of the 2 Docker DevOpsy stuff I want to do in this sprint. But I want to... where's the... Is there a way I can label by CMS? There we go, label by CMS. So, add to act, no. Fix course homepage. Can I also label by MVP? We got some non-MVP stuff in there. Labeled by CMS and MVP. Yeah. Why do we have acceptance tests in here? Anyway, I'm looking for change. Can I just search? Can I just search? It's the display order stuff that we were talking about before. You know, with the tutorials, I would like to put that into this sprint. So order tutorials by. So I want to. Can I move into sprint? Is there a button for that or not? Can I just drag that and put it in? Display tutorials by the display order. Yeah, that's fine. Tutorial display order is not unique. Definitely. Course page misaligned. No, I'm not worried about that. Duration, no. Tutorial link should be shown for active tutorials. Oh yeah, this is this stupid course link and tutorial link stuff in the CMS. Not going to be worried about that in this sprint, I don't think. Change the tutorial button, tutorial add edit. The Wysiwyg content would be good, I think. That would be a nice one to do in this sprint, I think. There was that, and there was also the course Wysiwyg. Let me just see that. How do you spell Wysiwyg? Hang on. What have I got down on here? W-Y. There we go. Yeah. Okay, so let's see. What have we got in these? We got the DB backup script. We got the node base image change. We got the tutorial display order. We got the course add edit. There was order tutorials by display order in view course. Yep. I'm sure there was another one to do with that display order. Oh yeah, images are not uploading. That's definitely one to go up. Yeah, definitely. That's a big one to go up. There was also resources as well. I'm getting a bit heavy now. I mean, I'm trying to limit these sprints to 2 weeks. So maybe I should just leave that. Let's have a look at the orders a minute. Allow drag and drop. There's the big one. There's the big one. Okay. All right. So in this sprint, I want to accomplish these things. It's a little bit sort of pick and mix, to be honest. The big ones are going to be the ordering of the tutorials. So this is where we go to this page here, where it's in courses and view. Come on. So when we go to a viewer course that's active with tutorials in them, I would like to have, as we've described in here, the drag and drop tutorial reordering. This thing here, I want to add a drag and drop feature going on there. Cool. Yes. So I think that looks good. 8 issues in total. We'll probably add to them or what have you as things go. I'm going to. Can I edit this sprint? Can I tell it when it's going to be? I thought there was a way of putting a time limit on these things. So if I was to start the sprint now. Aha, here we go. Duration, 2 weeks time. Yeah, we'll start it. There we go. There we go. Cool. So that's the sprint that we're going to play with. Okay, just been asked questions. Sir Skill Legend, sorry for not seeing your question sooner. Would a point system on a website count as a blockchain like cryptocurrency? A point system? I don't know. To be honest, I've never worked with cryptocurrency, as in from a developer standpoint, so I'm not sure. It really depends on what your point system does, I guess. With cryptocurrency, it's decentralized, so I mean that's a huge area to work in. I don't really know what the point system thing you're talking about would do, the context in which that is in. I suppose it all depends down to the context, to be honest. Unfortunately, I'm not the best person to ask because I've never done any development with cryptocurrency. Sorry. But interesting question, though. Right. I'll just splash myself in the face. Right. Okay. I think that will suffice, I think, for this sprint. It's quite a nice one, this one. And it's for 2 weeks, so we've got all of next week, and we've got all of the week after on a Sunday. I'm hoping to do another review like this where we plan. So I'll be doing these tasks Tuesday, Thursday, next Sunday, and then Tuesday, Thursday, and potentially that Sunday too, if I don't complete these in the evenings after work. But anyway, thanks ever so much, everybody, for watching. I'm going to grab a roast dinner now. It's Sunday. Thanks for watching. Happy coding, everybody. Take care, and I'll see you again next time. Cheers. Bye-bye.